7 miraculous principles revealed to outsmart the ordinary, divine wisdom from sacred teachings. In the heart of Haverford Village, the misty morning light danced along the cobbled streets as Maureen clasped her hands in fervent prayer beside her hearth. Each dawn, she gathered her family to invoke the strength of St. Michael, their guardian angel, believing firmly that divine protection would shield them from the turbulence of a world increasingly shadowed by doubt. But now, as whispers of financial crisis swept through their beloved village, an unsettling weight settled within her. Doubts lodged themselves deep in her heart. The chapel had once thrummed with vibrant songs and the warm embrace of community, yet now it stood like a half-forgotten promise, echoing with heated discussions on tradition versus modernity. Even the sweet scent of freshly baked bread no longer brought comfort but merely accentuated the struggle faced by her neighbors. That night, on her knees, Maureen felt the chill of uncertainty as she poured her soul into prayer. As she closed her eyes, a shimmering light enveloped her, and she slipped into a dream that was anything but ordinary. In her prophetic vision, 7 miraculous principles unfolded, radiant like jeweled constellations in the dark of night. Each principle glistened with divine wisdom. They promised to outsmart the ordinary, to lift her family from despair and nourish their hearts with renewed hope. The first, a beacon of purpose, illuminated the shadows of doubt, whispering assurance amidst chaos. Maureen awoke with her heart racing, teeming with divine assurance. Yet, as she turned to her husband, rooted in practicality and skepticism, she felt the tension swell. "Maureen, dreams are just whims of the mind," he scoffed, his fingers tightening around a slip of paper detailing unpaid bills. Her spirit flickered. Could faith withstand the weight of reality pressing down upon their family? As hours passed, doubt clawed at her resolve, even as she felt overwhelmingly drawn to those miraculous principles. Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As the village prepared for their long-standing prayer gathering, anticipation crackled in the air. That evening, the chapel was awash in golden light as villagers clasped hands, voices rising in harmonious devotion. The unity of the faithful, once frayed, felt electric. Miraculous happenings unfolded from within the assembly. Healings sparked hope. Lives and hearts were transformed before her very eyes. Maureen's heart soared, a gentle hurricane of faith swirling like confetti. In that sacred space, she witnessed the first of her principles come alive. It became a tangible truth as faith illuminated the hearts of many. Maureen's spirit rekindled. The extraordinary breathed life back into her hopes. But would her husband, her rational rock, embrace this newfound hope? As prayers surged and hearts united, an undeniable question loomed. Each miracle unraveled something profound. Would it be enough to believe in the miraculous, or must one also act upon it to bridge the great divide of doubt before them? The night ended with their community stronger than before, yet Maureen's heart lay awake, teetering on the fragile thread of doubt. What else awaited in this extraordinary unfolding? Could the second principle reveal itself? And if so, would her family stand united through every trial yet to come? The days followed like soft whispers, each one unfolding in layers of uncertainty and grace. For Maureen, the wake of the prayer gathering transformed her longing to act upon those miraculous principles. Hope intermingled with apprehension, weaving a delicate thread through her heart. She approached her family table with a newfound determination, a spark flickering in her eyes as she set about preparing a humble meal. Her husband, Thomas, observed her closely, an expression of confusion etched on his brow. "Maureen," he said cautiously, "what happens if this faith doesn't lead to anything? We are still left with tomorrow's bills, aren't we?"
Her heart sank for a moment, feeling the tug of doubt against the light she had been basking in. Still, she recalled the moment of shared prayer, the palpable energy that had filled the chapel, and how it had stirred something profound within her. But what if it does, Thomas? What if believing brings us closer together, opens doors we can't yet see? His gaze softened. Perhaps he too longed for reassurance in those challenging times. Days grew into a week, and with each dawn, Maureen awakened in prayer, invoking the principles that had ignited her spirit. She shared her visions with her neighbors, gathering small groups under the oaks in the village square. They lifted their voices in song, laughter, and prayer. Maureen felt a warmth envelop her, an assurance that this gathering of souls was part of the miracle she longed to see materialize. Then, one evening, just as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of gold and purple, she met Eleanor, a dear friend laden with worry. Eleanor's eyes brimmed with unshed tears. "My husband's shop is suffering, and I fear we might lose it. I don't know how to hold on any longer." Maureen could feel her heart ache for Eleanor. In that moment, she reached out and took her friend's hand. A divine urge to share filled her, ignited by the principles she was learning. "Eleanor, let's pray together. Let's believe in the providence of God. We must act with faith, and together we'll find a way through." A flicker of hope ignited in Eleanor's eyes as she
nodded, gripping Maureen's hand tight. They spoke words of encouragement, invoking the strength of those around them. Little by little, Maureen's conviction spread like wildfire. More villagers gathered, joining them under the branches of hope, praying for healing, renewal, and a way forward. But amidst this burgeoning faith, doubt still whispered at the edges. Could their small actions truly lead to something greater? Every night, Maureen's prayers became more fervent, often transcending into the whispers of her heart. As she reflected upon the second principle, one of action intertwined with faith, she pondered on how to bridge the gap between belief and tangible results. That evening, she returned home, the weight of her thoughts heavy yet transformed, a bubbling anticipation of discovery coursing through her veins. As she nestled into bed, her heart ached with questions yet to be answered. Will the next step reveal the pathway forward? How will Tomas react when this innovation bursts forth in our lives? A gentle wind rustled outside, and it felt as though it carried a promise. The next principle awaited like a hidden treasure. What unveiled truth would guide them through the trials ahead, and would it ignite the flame of belief in those still trapped in darkness? The night wrapped around Maureen like a comforting shawl, but within her a tempest stirred. She could barely close her eyes, the whispers of prayer still dancing in her mind. The golden hours of the early morning brought with them soft rays that filtered through her window, painting her room in hues of hope. Rising to greet the day, her heart felt lighter, buoyed by an unseen hand guiding her forward. As she began her morning chores, a thought struck her like a flash of light. What if the next principle is the key to unlocking our community's potential? This notion sparked excitement within her. The thought of bringing the villagers together for one purpose, a collective effort, seemed invigorating. The more Maureen contemplated this, the deeper her conviction grew. There was a power in unity. After breakfast, she gathered the courage to discuss her ideas with Tomas. He leaned against the doorway, arms folded, a cloud of skepticism shadowing his face. "Maureen, are you sure this is wise?" he asked. "You know people are struggling. They might not be ready to believe in something so intangible." "But isn't belief the first step to change?" she replied, her voice steady. "If we can channel our faith, our collective strength, we can turn despair into hope. We should hold a gathering, like before, but with the intent to inspire action and support one another." Tomas sighed, the lines on his forehead deepening.
You speak of miracles, but what of reality? The bills won't wait for hope. Just as doubt threatened to seep into her resolve, a memory flickered in Maureen's mind. Eleanor's tears and the moment they prayed together. Wrapped in that memory, she felt emboldened. Each bill, each worry is real, but so too is our ability to rise above them together, Tomas.
He looked at her, searching her eyes for understanding, maybe a flicker of the belief that had been ignited. Maureen knew this journey was as much about him as it was about her. Let's just try. If we can gather at least a few people, maybe we can spark a change, she urged, her voice warm, trembling with passion. Hours later, standing beneath the vast oak in the village square, Maureen's heart raced with anticipation. The townsfolk were curious but hesitant. As they gathered, she could see the flickers of doubt mirrored in their eyes, the weight of their burdens visible to all. The air was thick with unspoken worries. "Brothers and sisters," she began, her voice steady and full of warmth. "Here we are, not as individuals lost in our struggles, but as a community with the power to uplift each other." She felt the words flowing through her, empowering her every thought and breath. In the face of challenges, let us lean into our faith, not merely in God, but in each other. What if we commit to helping one another, to standing together until our burdens become lighter? Gasps rippled through the crowd. Maureen continued, "Let's bring our skills, our strengths, our hearts, and blend them into something beautiful. Together, we can create work and solve problems." Her voice trembled but remained strong, carrying a promise of hope that resonated deeply. As murmurs grew among the villagers, she noticed Eleanor in the back of the crowd, fear slowly lifting from her face. Trust began to swap doubt's hold. Maureen couldn't help but feel the warmth of a gentle presence, an understanding that awakened the weary souls around her. But just as the flickers of hope brightened, a low rumble of discontent surfaced. "What if this doesn't work?" someone called from the crowd, cutting through the atmosphere like a cold wind. Indeed, what if? Maureen stood still, her heart pounding. But what if it does? We may just discover the miracle of each other. The challenge hung in the air, tugging at everyone's heart, creating a tension that lingered. Hope was palpable, yet fragile, teetering on the brink of belief. The villagers looked at each other, unsure, yet yearning for a beacon of light. Would they choose to embrace this journey together, or would disbelief hold them back? With every gaze, Maureen sensed the dawning realization that perhaps this was the moment to make a choice, to act on faith and unveil a path not only for themselves, but for generations to come. As the sun began to dip again, casting long shadows across the square, she breathed deeply, ready for whatever divine plan lay ahead. What revelations could emerge when faith intertwined with action in an unwavering pursuit of hope? The weight of the crowd's uncertainty settled over Maureen like a full-bodied fog, thick and almost suffocating. Heart racing, she scanned the faces around her, seeking reassurance. A boy stood near the front, shifting his weight from foot to foot. The innocence in his gaze a stark contrast to the shadows of doubt lingering in the adults. "Please, friends," Maureen continued, her voice a gentle yet urgent whisper. "Remember the stories we've shared, the times when we stood together. Each challenge faced in unity felt less daunting, didn't it? Think back to the Harvest Festival, to the joy we felt when we all worked side by side." Eleanor, emboldened by Maureen's words, stepped forward. "We don't need to look far to see what can happen when we come together," she spoke, her voice shaking but rising with passion. "Who remembers the night we collected firewood after that storm? We laughed and sang, and our homes were warmer not just from the fire, but from our hearts combined." A soft murmur threaded through the crowd. Maureen felt the atmosphere shift, the air thickening with the slow, sweet nectar of shared memories. hope began to stir, a flicker igniting in the depths of their hearts. "Let's light the flame again," Maureen exclaimed, her heart soaring. "Let's invite skills from each corner of our community. We can share what we have, not just material things, but time, kindness, and encouragement. Who is with me?" At first, silence greeted her plea, but then, one by one, hands began to rise. A farmer, a baker, an elder, all stood tall and united, gathering strength as they reached for something beyond the struggle. The shared gasp of realization illuminated the faces around her, and she felt the invisible cords of unity weaving through the crowd. "Together, we will transform fear into fellowship, anger into understanding, and despair into determination." Maureen's voice rang clear, the divine speaking through her resolve. "We can create a community garden, a place where we grow food for each other, a space for solidarity and nurturing. Imagine the children playing there, the laughter blossoming like our seeds. What if it becomes a haven filled with love?" The crowd reacted, some nodding, others tearing up. The energy began to hum, as if they could hear the soft rustle of future blessings whispering promises of better days ahead. Yet in the middle of this awakening, the skeptical voice emerged once more, a neighbor known for always questioning. "But what happens when we fail?" he challenged, arms crossed defiantly. Maureen paused, the weight of his words crashing like waves upon her conscience. "But what if we don't?" she countered, the warmth of conviction wrapping around her shoulders. "What if we find joy instead? Trust can be a bridge over despair. Trusting each other, trusting the process, even when we can't see the road ahead." Eleanor stepped closer. "Every storm teaches us. Each worry, each moment of doubt can grow into strength and resilience if we let it." She smiled, the light of hope shining from her heart. This was not just Maureen's vision anymore. It was a collective leap of faith, a convergence of dreams, voices entwined, held together as if by divine thread. As twilight drew in,
Near, shadows danced beneath the oak, and the first stars appeared in the sky, tiny reminders of the limitless potential that lay ahead. "We'll meet again," Maureen called out, "but this time let's come with our ideas, our hopes, and maybe even our fears. Let's create a plan. Our journey has just begun. Together, we encompass something much larger than ourselves." People began murmuring agreement, the air buzzing with the spark of possibility. As they broke from the gathering, the sound of tentative laughter floated around the village square like a soft anthem of hope. But deep inside, Maureen knew the path to faith would not be easy. Each step forward might also invite challenges. As she stood beneath the oak, she couldn't shake the feeling that resolution was only the beginning. What trials might await as they dared to dream together? And could their united strength withstand the storms of life? As the sun dipped below the horizon, the gentle shadows conduced a sacred atmosphere, wrapping the village in the twilight's embrace. Maureen took a moment, breathing deeply as the crisp air filled her lungs. There was an undeniable weight of anticipation swirling around her, a divine energy igniting new possibilities. While hope blossomed in the hearts of her friends, uncertainty still lingered, creeping silently like mist across a lake at dawn. Gathering her courage, she began to walk towards her home, her steps soft yet purposeful. Each footfall seemed to resonate like a heartbeat, echoing the rhythm of change welling in her spirit. The faces of her fellow villagers swirled in her mind, their worries colored by dreams yet unseen. She felt keenly aware of the responsibility that accompanied their trust. As she entered her small cottage, candlelight flickered against the walls, casting warm glows that danced in the dimness. She settled at her table, pulling out a simple notepad and quill. Words flowed like a gentle stream as she began to pen her thoughts and plans. "A garden should be more than just a place to grow food," she murmured to herself. "It should be a sanctuary,
a place where every heart finds nourishment. Hours melted away as Maureen poured her vision onto the pages. She planned not just for seeds to be sown, but for kindness to blossom and for joy to flourish. Her heart resonated with each word, and somewhere deep within, reassurance blossomed. This wasn't merely a project, but a pathway, an open door inviting blessings to come. As Maureen finished, she felt suddenly aware of a light beyond her window. Curiosity pulled her towards it. She opened the door, letting the cool night air rush in, carrying the sounds of laughter and music through the village. Intrigued, she followed the joyful noise, drawn to a gathering forming in the square once more. When she arrived, the scene before her took her breath away. Villagers, young and old, stood together beneath the vibrant starlit sky, sharing stories, offering songs, and weaving bonds of camaraderie. There was a
palpable energy, a divine pulse flowing through the crowd, rendering their hearts open and alive. Eleanor spotted her and waved her over enthusiastically. "You need to see this, Maureen! People are bringing ideas, different talents they're willing to share for our garden project." Her eyes sparkled with excitement. Maureen joined the circle, where laughter harmonized with dreams spoken aloud. A sculptor stepped forward, promising to create benches from the fallen branches. A weaver explained her vision for colorful banners to drape from the trees, symbols of their unity. Hands raised high to share their pledges, faces beamed with purpose and resolve. It was beautiful, a tapestry of talents coming together as they braided their dreams into the night's fabric. Yet, even amidst the joy, a shadow flickered in her heart. "What if we can't achieve all this?" she whispered internally, the same doubt the neighbor expressed earlier creeping back. In that moment, an elder standing quietly near the edge of the gathering caught her gaze. His presence emanated wisdom, and with a smile, he spoke. "Maureen, isn't faith often birthed from uncertainty? Not knowing can be the soil in which possibilities are planted." Encouraged by this gentle reminder, Maureen lifted her chin, feeling emboldened. "You're right. It's our shared commitment that will guide us through the unknown." As she spoke, a soft chuckle escaped her lips at the simplicity of their truth. Hope radiated among them like a warm embrace. They were stepping into a divine mystery together, a sacred quest built on trust, willing to unearth the beauty buried beneath uncertainty. But deep down, Maureen sensed something more awaited them, just around the corner. What lessons of faith would they discover in the coming days? And could the seeds they planted lead to a miraculous transformation far beyond their dreams? With her heart full, she shared her newfound inspiration with the gathering, igniting sparks in their hearts once more as they prepared for the journey ahead. The gathering buzzed with excitement, each villager's heart intertwined with the others, a beautiful tapestry unfolding under the celestial quilt. Maureen felt a growing warmth envelop her as she exchanged smiles and laughter with her neighbors. Every shared vision and promise seemed to thrum with life, pulsating joy within the community. Just then, the elder stepped forward again, his voice steady and calm. "Friends," he began, capturing their collective attention, "when we come together with open hearts, divine wisdom is bound to emerge. Let's not rush our dreams, but cultivate them as we would in a garden, nurturing each seed with love and care." His words carried a weight of truth, resonating deeply with Maureen. It reminded her of the quiet moments spent tending to her own little plants, nurturing their growth with patience. She realized this project wasn't just about physical transformation, but about the inner growth they could experience, both individually and as a community. Eleanor clapped her hands together, her enthusiasm spreading like wildfire. "Let's establish a day of gathering, a day when we can all bring our unique talents to one spot, share our stories, share laughter, and most importantly, share food." The idea caught fire. Focused conversations erupted among the crowd as they discussed the date and how to prepare. Maureen could barely keep up with the enthusiasm, but she noticed a few faces lingering in uncertainty, particularly those who had voiced their doubts earlier. "Maybe someone could lead a session on sowing the seeds," she suggested, her gaze sweeping over the gathering. "And perhaps we can create art to bless the garden, a mural reflecting our dreams and hopes." "Yes," they chimed, raising their voices in unison, a joyful affirmation that echoed across the square. As plans solidified, Maureen felt a deeper stirring within her own spirit. She recalled the elders' words. There was still a sacred mystery unfurling before them. This wasn't merely a project about clearing land and planting seeds. It was a journey leading them into a transformative space where faith could flourish and miracles could unfold. Amidst the joy, a question tugged at her heart. What would they do when the challenges of uncertainty faced them? Would they have the faith to persevere when times grew tough? The stars twinkled above, a reminder of promises kept through ages. Joy and apprehension danced together, the promise of divine guidance palpable in the cool night air. Maureen took a deep breath and said, "Whatever may come, let's create a space where we can witness God's handiwork together, where faith is fertile and our spirits can soar." As the night deepened, laughter echoed like hymns in the night, weaving through the trees. Yet Maureen couldn't shake the feeling that new trials awaited them. What obstacles awaited them down this path of faith? And perhaps most importantly, how would the tapestry of their lives continue to be woven together in the light of the unknown? Tomorrow would arrive with the promise of new beginnings. The sun rose gently the next morning, showering golden light across the village. Maureen felt a flutter of anticipation as she stepped outside, a quiet prayer whispering in her heart. She sensed that today was not just any day. It held promise and hope like the first buds of spring breaking through the earth. Gathered at the central square, villagers mingled, their warm chatter filling the air, a beautiful symphony of unity. Maureen moved among them, her spirit buoyed by the radiant smiles and kind words. It felt as if they were all pieces of a puzzle, coming together to reveal a greater picture. Eleanor approached her, excitement dancing in her eyes. "I can feel it, the energy is alive. Shall we begin with the mural design?" Maureen nodded, her heart dancing to Eleanor's enthusiasm. "Absolutely, let's set up here, and we can invite everyone's ideas. Each brushstroke can tell our story." The villagers gathered around as Maureen sketched the outline of the mural. They began with vibrant colors, splashes of hope and love, when suddenly a voice piped up from the, "What if we painted words too?" It was Isaac, a young boy known for his big dreams. "Words that remind us to be brave and kind." Maureen smiled widely. "Wonderful idea, Isaac. Let's choose words that resonate with all of us." Soon, shadows formed at the edges of the square as people offered their suggestions. "Faith," called out one. "Togetherness," chimed another. Each word poured forth like offerings, little seeds that could blossom into something profound. Maureen stood back, taking in the scene. She felt a deep stirring in her soul, the whispers of the elders' wisdom echoing in her mind. It wasn't just paint and words. They were cultivating a sacred space that would reflect their shared journey. But as she watched the mural take shape, a quiet worry nagged at her. What if not everyone felt this connection? What if doubts lingered and choices diverged? Just then, she noticed a small group off to the side, their faces shadowed with uncertainty, hesitant to join the blooming creativity. Gathering her courage, she approached them. "What's holding you back?" she asked gently. One woman stepped forward, her voice trembling. "I want to believe it can happen, but what if it fails? What if we plant seeds and nothing grows?" A stillness enveloped them as Maureen considered her words. Each glance exchanged among the group revealed a shared fear of failure, of disappointment, of the unknown. Raising her hand slightly, Maureen softened her tone. "This is our garden, a garden of faith.
Yes, there are risks, but there's beauty in trying, in stepping forward together. The woman's gaze flickered with uncertainty. But what if no one helps? Then we become the help, Maureen exclaimed, feeling the fire of community spark within her heart. If each of us brings something, we can bear the weight of doubt together. Remember, even the tiniest seed can grow into a mighty tree. Slowly, the tension lifted. Emotions ebbed and flowed, the sun brightening their faces as laughter returned. When the group merged back into the bustling crowd, Maureen's spirit soared. As she returned to the mural, she sensed that they were entering deeper waters. Turning their faith into action was not without its trials. What would they encounter when storms arrived? Would their roots hold strong when the winds of doubt howled? With determination gleaming in her heart, she dipped her brush into the paint once more. Whatever challenges lie in wait, we will weather them together. Our faith is destined to flourish with each step we take. With the mural growing, so did the anticipation in the air. Little did they know that the true test of their unity, their faith, was about to manifest in ways they could never have imagined. What awaited them as this journey continued to unfold? Tomorrow, they would discover the first signs of God's plan in their communal garden. Would they be ready for His manifestation? Morning light streamed through the trees, illuminating the village with a vibrant glow. The air stayed fresh
and filled with whispers of promise. Maureen felt an unshakable sense of expectancy as she walked toward the center, brushing back her hair and inhaling the fragrant morning. Today, she thought, could beckon wonders they had never expected. As the villagers gathered, Maureen noticed their faces, the joy and anticipation mingling with slight tension. Some were absorbed in the mural, while others shared hushed conversations, nervously glancing around. Maureen sensed an undercurrent of hesitation, a flicker of uncertainty sprinkled among the optimism. She approached Eleanor, who was busy mixing colors. "How do you think they're feeling today?" Maureen asked, worry tinging her voice. Eleanor's brows furrowed slightly. "There's excitement, but I see doubt lingering. It's like a shadow that won't leave the light." Maureen sighed, her heart heavy. She longed for everyone to embrace this moment, to dive into the beauty of creativity and community. With inspiration bubbling within her, she turned back toward the crowd. "We need to lift each other up," she said aloud, her voice steady yet warm. "Connection is our strength. Let's come together in a way that lets faith shine through." A few heads turned in her direction, curiosity piquing the air around them. "Let's share our stories," she proposed, her heart racing with the thrill of vulnerability. "Each of us can share a moment that ignited our faith, a breakthrough that brought light into our lives." A ripple of murmurs shifted across the square. Hesitation transformed into eager expression as some villagers began to share. "I remember when I lost my way," an older man began slowly, his voice gaining strength with each word. "But a friend reached out, and it changed everything." Another woman spoke, her eyes glistening. "I lost all hope. Then one day, I felt the warmth of a stranger's hug, and I knew I was not alone." With every story, the atmosphere shifted. Tensions evaporated, replaced by a tapestry of shared hope. Laughter bubbled alongside tears of joy, blending into a sacred space. Maureen felt as if the spirit of unity gently swept through the crowd. As each tale unfolded, it revealed resilience, courage, and a steadfast commitment to faith. She saw fears slowly shadowed by the light of collective understanding and support. Suddenly, Isaac, the boy with the big dreams, dashed forward. "Can we paint these stories too?" he asked excitedly. "Words and colors that tell our miracles. It'll be like a rainbow of faith on our mural." Maureen grinned, seeing the spark in his eyes. "Yes, every brushstroke can carry a story." The villagers echoed in agreement, their zest ignited anew.
As they began brainstorming how to embody these testimonies, the murmurings of their hopes became evident. "Triumph," suggested one. "Grace," called another. The words began to weave into the mural. Vivid swirls of color began to back the profound truths they shared. But as the sun climbed, setting the world aglow, a distant rumble vibrated through the air, a reminder of the storms that might come.
Ready when trials emerged? Their laughter and joy wrapped around each other like a warm embrace, words lifting higher. Yet they stood, teetering on the edge of the unknown, dancing between hope and fear. Even as the shade cast by uncertainty loomed, Maureen whispered quietly to herself, "Whatever may come, we have each other. Our faith, our stories, and our collective hearts will carry us." And as they painted on, the first droplets of rain began to fall, gently tapping the earth. They looked up, silence breaking the fervor of creativity. Would they be prepared for what would unfold next? Little did she know, the heavenly plan was about to reveal itself in the most unexpected way. As the rain began to patter softly against the earth, an unexpected hush fell over the vibrant crowd. Maureen felt the drops on her skin, refreshing yet puzzling, as if the heavens themselves were joining in the symphony of stories being shared. The mural, still in progress, seemed to shimmer with potential, its colors ready to absorb the joy that poured from each heart. "Let's not allow a little rain to dampen our spirits," she called out, her voice rising above the soft melody of falling water. "This is a sign that something beautiful is coming." A few villagers laughed, shaking their heads as if to dismiss their earlier hesitations. The energy shifted again, and they turned inward toward their shared purpose. With renewed vigor, they returned to their painting. Every brushstroke felt like the breathing of a collective soul, pulsing with hope and aspiration. Maureen watched as Eleanor carefully mixed bright yellow and deep blue to create a vivid green, symbolizing life and unity. "Something tells me this rain is blessing our work," Eleanor said, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "Maybe we'll suddenly find our inspiration pouring out even more." "Exactly," Isaac exclaimed, his excitement contagious. "Let's make it a celebration, a storm of colors." Gradually, as they painted, the rain transformed from a gentle tap into a steady flow. It washed over the villagers and blessed their canvas. Each splash carried memories and hopes, merging their spirits into an unbreakable bond. The mural, a canvas of miracles, began to absorb the essence of shared stories, faith woven into every swirl of paint. But just as the anticipation reached a crescendo, the distant rumble of thunder echoed ominously, a reminder of what awaited. Maureen felt a flicker of fear, but it quickly turned into a determination. She wouldn't let any storm shake their newfound strength. "Look to your left," shouted a cheerful voice, breaking through the momentary tension. Everyone turned to see an array of colors swirling in the sky. The storm's clouds were beginning to part, giving way to dazzling rays of sunlight, illuminating the village like a divine spotlight. Gasps echoed as the vibrant hues in the sky reflected upon the mural, blending seamlessly with the colors they had spent hours pouring their hearts into. "This is incredible," a villager exclaimed. "It's like our faith is being painted across the heavens." Maureen felt her heart swell at the sight. "It truly is a moment to cherish. But with beauty comes responsibility," she cautioned softly, reminding those around her of their commitment to hold on to the light they'd created together. As laughter and shouts of joy ignited once more, Maureen gazed at the mural, resolve swelling within her. "We must protect what we've built, and it may call for bravery when the storms come." Just then, a loud clap of thunder echoed again, somehow not as ominous this time, but more like a heralding. A strong wind rushed through, sweeping tears of laughter from faces and scattering papers across the square. Eyes widened,
and for a fleeting moment, they all shared the same silent thought. Was this a warning or an invitation? "Whatever may come," Maureen declared, "we'll face it united." Her words ignited a chorus of agreement, echoing through the vibrant crowd. Yet, amidst the uplifting shout, she felt a stirring within her soul, a question blooming alongside their joy. What was the storm truly preparing them for? And would they truly be ready to embrace the revelations that awaited? As the winds howled around them, a sense of divine mystery lingered in the air. The next chapter of their journey loomed large, waiting just beyond the horizon of their unveiled mural and the gathering clouds above. The next day dawned with a sweetness that wrapped around Haverford like a warm blanket. The bright sun shone down, causing the day's earlier rain to glisten like diamonds on the streets. Maureen felt an electric energy coursing through her veins as the villagers prepared for the unveiling of their mural, filled with the shared stories of their lives, trials, and triumphs together. Gathered beneath that sturdy old oak, hearts thumped in unison, anticipation buzzing around like fireflies. Maureen stood in the center, breathing in the scent of fresh paint mixed with damp earth, and her heart swelled. "Today is the day we go forward together," she called out, her voice ringing with conviction. As she turned to face the mural, her breath caught in her throat. The colors swirled vibrantly, each stroke telling their story. "This," she said, gesturing to the masterpiece, "is more than paint. It reflects the very essence of who we are when we merge our hopes and faith into something greater than ourselves." The crowd murmured, caught in hushed adoration. Names of those lost in doubt filled the mural, truths of healing, love, and compassion shining through. Deep blues whispered of tears shared, soft greens spoke of hope growing, and warm yellow stretched joyfully across the canvas, embracing all who stood before it. But then, a flicker of doubt returned to the back of Maureen's mind, just as a familiar voice from the crowd piped up, laden with skepticism. "That's all well and good, but what if things do fall apart again? What if we can't sustain this hope?" Silence blanketed the gathering. Believers' eyes darted, some searching for the strength to counter that voice within. Maureen felt a heavy weight settle on her chest. She had fought so hard against doubt, yet here it stood, looming ominously over them. But then she remembered the words of the elder, the wisdom that echoed like a drumbeat in her soul. Isn't faith often birthed from uncertainty? Drawing a breath, she lifted her chin and smiled gently. Faith doesn't come without struggle. The storms do come, but just as we gathered together to create this mural, we can unite through the storms. Our strength flourishes through connection. Nervous exchanges flowed into the crowd like whispers of wind. Slowly, Eleanor moved to Maureen's side. "Together, we've witnessed miracles. Let's believe in one another's lights." The sun blazed overhead as eyes shifted, igniting something profound. "Remember how we united to support our dreams?" Eleanor continued, adding warmth and fervor to Maureen's message. "Today, we lift each other's burdens." The flicker of hope rekindled in the villagers' expressions. Smiles surfaced, fear dissipated as hands reached out in connection, creating an unbreakable chain of support. Voices rose in affirmation. "We are with you. We are a community." Tears of gratitude pooled in Maureen's eyes. Each trial, each step forward is made lighter together. Her voice rang out, encouraging and fierce. "Let's unveil this mural not just as art, but as a promise, an eternal reminder that we are here for each other through every storm." With that declaration, a palpable shift flowed through the crowd. As they pulled away the cloth draping the mural, gasps echoed in unison. The colors gleamed in the sunlight, vibrant creatures of faith and fellowship, shining through every shadow they overcame. In that moment, it all coalesced, their struggles, victories, laughter, and tears woven together like threads in a divine tapestry. The air filled with a spirit of celebration, voices soaring as they sang songs of gratitude, hands held high, souls rejoicing. Every heart resonated with a deeper realization. They were not just painting the mural, they were painting their lives together, source of light in moments of darkness. The shadows of the past were melded with an unwavering belief in their tomorrow. As the sun dipped low, casting a kaleidoscope of colors across the sky, Maureen gazed at the mural and then at her community. She couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning of something monumental. "Let's gather every week," she proposed, her voice rising above the joyful noise. "Let's commit to uplifting each other. Let's keep our community bright, our faith renewed together." Cheers reverberated in agreement, the village filled with the sounds of renewed purpose. Their hearts echoed with the knowledge that love, faith, and unity, their communal garden, would sustain them through trials and victories yet to be faced. In that sacred space, as twilight settled over Haverford, Maureen's spirit soared. She knew they had ignited something that would continue to grow. "Today, we stand on the precipice of hope," she
declared, wonder in every word. "Together, we will weather any storm." And with that conviction, the night wrapped around them, their lives painted in a rainbow of unwavering faith. Now is the time to rise in action. You need to subscribe immediately to this channel to not miss the next exclusive faith stories. Don't let this moment pass. Leave a like now to keep this message alive with the algorithm. And comment your reactions. Share how this journey has impacted your faith. Finally, share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this divine manifestation. This is the moment to show your unwavering support for our journey of faith together.